What do y'all feel about that? Because that's just something I stumbled upon. It's like if you starting at excuses, fam, we got way bigger problems than like you wanting to be successful. Because it's just like, do you really want to do this? It sound like you're trying to talk yourself out of it when you go, man, but I ain't got this. When I get this, and it's like that's not how that works, right? Like if you have, I'll never forget. I tell this all the time. Morgan was like, yo, man, you want to rap? You gotta learn how to make a beat. You sitting here waiting for niggas to send you beats, man. You ain't gonna never get a rap off. Like, nah, man. When I get the right beat, I'm out of here. I'm gonna be signed. Like, that's not how that works. So Morg, I come home one day and then he just the beat machine was there, and it was like, I don't know what to do with this. So you better figure it out. And it was days of just like this is terrible. Like I wish I could find like that first terabyte hard drive has some of the worst shit on it, bro. And then the next terabyte hard drive has some of the worst shit on it. Like we're talking about 10 years and I'm just now in a space where I'm like, them beats okay. Like, yeah, I'm still not even like, but the constantly like chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. And that's just from a music perspective or a writing perspective and like going to spaces where you feel like people are way talented. And shout out to Jay Ed. It's going down. And I think that's a lot where this is deriving from is like going to see people like that who in the Bay, we acknowledge Jay as one of the best thinkers and creatives and like people to produce music. This nigga goes to LA and goes, yeah, I'm trash, bro. And I was like, yo, if you're saying that, I need to be up every morning working on shit. Like if somebody I think is the nigga is like, I'm down here and it's like you can stumble into somebody that's a world class musician. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just from a music standpoint, but from a life standpoint, I've never really dealt well with why something can't happen because I've only ever known how to figure the shit out, and I only know niggas who know how to figure it out. So it feels weird to me to start with the excuse as to why it can't be done. Tell me why it can be done. Why it can be. You telling me it can't be done is only gonna make me go do the shit. You know?
Well, since we being honest, when you told me your idea for global,
Yeah.
I had no clue how I was about to do this shit.
Man, that's crazy.
But I wasn't like, I'm not gonna do this shit.
Damn. I never would have known you was feeling like that.
Yeah, nah. I was like in this whole space of, all right, I just need to see the space,
Yeah.
and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that was another reason why I was like, just give me a little bit of time so I can map this out.
Yeah.
But once I seen the space, then it just starts clicking. But I'm the same way. If you start off telling me, oh, I can't do it, then yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah. I don't want you nowhere near around me if all you have is like why something can't happen. Cause I know so many people who start with like you, for example. That video, Lex, I worked at the pit. Who people don't know what we're talking about. That wasn't the first video we did together.
That was the first video.
Jesus. So LMA, one of my favorite projects I've ever done. Shout out to Half Black. I'm working at Casey's Barbecue. All the old historical artifacts that they had in that place, it has since burned down, but you're talking about original stoves, clock radios, jukeboxes, you name it. It was lined with all this memorabilia, a wagon, like all this amazing stuff that just set the scene for this great epic story. And I worked there for a few years, and I would just, especially when I was working the front, I would just kind of daydream, just looking at that place, like, yo, there's a story in here. And when the album came out, it was like unanimously that was everybody's favorite song. And Lex and I had been talking about doing something together for a minute, and then finally one day I called him and was like, yo, bro, I got it. And just kind of roughly ran down this vague ass open-ended idea as I often do. And he's like, I'll come by tomorrow or something like that. And you came with this booklet of paper, and we talked for a minute, and then you like, yo, if you don't mind, I'm gonna just sit here. And then I just kind of left the nigga there and like, hey, you need anything? Kind of bring him stuff every once in a while. Yeah. But he was just kind of sitting there doing like this. And then this fool fleshed out the whole treatment, and then went home and storyboarded it. And I was like,
with the worst drawings you'll ever see.
But he did it though.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter. It didn't have the tech computer to make the digital storyboard. This nigga drew that shit by hand. It's like, yo, this is what it should be. And the first thing he says is like, yo, please forgive the drawings. And G, for whatever reason, I couldn't look. Like the drawings, I saw it clear as day. Like it was like, it may as well have been the video because it was so methodical and he had taken the time to plan it out. And another example of that, of just resourcefulness, is the summer you broke your thumb. I think we probably told this on the podcast before, probably a million times. But he breaks his thumb, and then I'm like, oh well, shit, we kicking it all summer. This nigga don't want to hoop. It was like, nah, we definitely gonna hoop, and I'm just gonna play 1-on-1 with my left hand all summer. It's like, fuck, this nigga don't take no days off, man. Like you're not gonna rest. Fuck for what? And it proceeded to kick my ass for an entire summer with just his left hand. I'm inferior, like the maddest I've ever been, dog. But it just, so if that's where you starting from, what you gonna tell me? What conversation can I have with you about why something can't be done? Oh man, I don't have the latest plug-in. Fuck that plug-in. Oh man, I don't have the latest. Dog. That's what instruments are for. That's what just go. Please go find a way. Like I think people are missing the part with all this access to technology and shit. It's like, oh man, I don't have the right camera. I just got done. Jeremy was like shooting for, like, cats are going back to film. Like the film realm is such a specific sort of medium because you got to actually, like, especially if you develop in your own film too, it's real love and care in that. You know, some of the chef homies, like, it's like my favorite show right now during the quarantine is like, they call it just what's in the kitchen. Like whatever is in your kitchen, you got to make something out of, and it's like you better figure it out. And so that's the way creativity feels to me. It just feels like one of those things like fuck the tools right now. Steve Lacy made his whole fire ass album on his phone. It's just there's ways, and granted, like I get it, like. Maybe that's I probably sound spoiled as fuck telling people it probably sounds like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I hope it don't sound like that. It does it? Am I teetering that? Nah. Because if I am, y'all got to just tell me because I can understand why people say, nigga, you sound Republican right now. Like
nah, not at all, because I would double down on that and go even harder. So like I have zero sympathy for anybody's situation, bro. Like that's not what folks need. Like as much as
you may want it,
the
coddling and so forth, yeah.
Which I get it. If you see folks that have safety nets, then it could make you envious in a way, because no matter how many times you fuck up, you have somebody to catch you, and then those be the ones that be speaking the loudest about, like, you know, the shit that they don't get to do and have, and or they be telling you how to do some shit, and it'd be like, what you mean, my nigga? Like, nigga, they fronted you the cash for it. Nigga, what you mean you had to go so hard back in? Nigga, when, bro? Your parents just gave you some shit. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like when you start going through the story, but that's going too far. Like if you get caught up in somebody else's life on some shit, then you're going way too far down the hole. Like you got to be thinking about yourself, bro, and like how can you put your best foot forward? And I think people get kind of lost in that. Is like. And instead of putting your best foot forward and figuring out how to gradually, I guess, add to what your best is, for your best time, your best work that you can do, whatever, your best beat that you can make, by like just continuously putting your work in for yourself. I think people get caught up in what other people have, and final results and shit like that, and they want that. They want that just
completely disregarding those people's process.
Completely.
Like I want what you
that's
got.
That's the disrespectful shit. Not Monty talk about pull yourself by your bootstraps. It's the fact that you think that you should have those straps already, bro. Nigga, that shit's bullshit. My nigga, if you get to see anybody that's nice with it, anybody that get to sit back now or whatever it is, bro, like, or just get the accolades, like, instead of being like, nigga, you know, they got all this and I ain't got this, you know what I mean? Like, figure out what it is that you really want.
Yeah.
And are you willing to do the things that person did in order to get that?
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah, I mean, that's a real question. Because I think a lot of these people that be worried about be really worried about this shit is the same folks that will be playing the lotto. You know what I mean? Like they basically just need cash because they think that's gonna bring them happiness. I don't think it's the actual work though. Like I don't think they actually want the process.
Fuck, man.
Which is confusing as hell because they be talking.
They talk like
they
want
will
it.
confuse you with the talk.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really want it.
Damn, we
though.
talked about that last night. We talked about that at length too. Whenever I'm engaging with a friend, with a lover, you name it, a partner of any sort, I'm only regurgitating back what you told me what the fuck you wanted to do. At no point am I projecting what I think you should be doing onto you. It's just not. I got a bunch of friends that don't aspire to do. They just aspire to do regular shit. That's okay.
Which is just fine.
There's nothing wrong with that at all, my nigga. Do that shit. I commend it. But my partners that go, hey man, Lex, yo, money, I got the show idea, nigga. Write the script. This nigga sent me the whole series. It's like, wait, nigga, whoa, okay. It's like, yo, Poe, yeah, man, I'm gonna start this company, man. Every time I see him, yo, how this shit going? Yeah, man, it's cool. And then he's like, man, thanks for tapping in. Like, just checking in on the process of it. And when I start taking the beat making shit serious, Poe, every Friday night after a long ass week of work, go grab a bottle, pull up, stick an L, pull up right next to him.